Hari Om. A very good afternoon to all from India. Those who are from overseas, good morning to you all, or good evening. Let us begin this session once again. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Vedānta Jñana Yajña, the Knowledge of India series. Today is the third week of our talks. A very quick recap. We spoke about the differences in the last session. When we see differences, we fall short of our goals. And if we fall short of our goals, we do not feel satisfied with ourselves in our life. We also spoke that Vedanta can show us a new way of thinking by which we could surpass these differences and make life a better experience. The three topics that we speak of, Vedanta, Jnana and Yajna. Very quickly, let me take you through it again. Vedanta, that science with which your life becomes an art of living. Second, knowledge, not knowledge of a subject or knowledge of something, for example, oceanography or some other knowledge of the world, but knowledge by itself, knowledge per se. And Yajna. The example that was given about Yajna, the cooperative endeavor spirit, was the body. That the head is not the eye is not the nose is not the lip, is not the chin, the chest is not the hand is not the leg, but the whole body is coming together to serve one master, that is me. And never ever it happens that you take a glass of food in your hand and then it goes to your ear. It always goes straight to your mouth. This is the most beautiful example that we could come up for a cooperative endeavor. We had also given a slight more example that if you are having a knife in your hand and you're cutting a bread, and by mistake the right hand cuts the left finger a little, bleeding happens. The left finger does not demand to cut the right hand finger. Why? Because they are so united, they are so one with each other in the ultimate goal. This is the spirit of Yajna or the spirit of cooperation. When we come together and work in this spirit, success is assured. However, the topic that we are speaking of, or for that matter, any knowledge, for knowledge to take place, for knowledge to happen, there are 4 factors which are required. The Shastric knowledge that we are speaking of, the scriptural knowledge in particular, but otherwise in the world. 2, you will observe that only when these 4 factors are in place, that knowledge transfer takes place beautifully. Let me tell you. The first, adhikaritva, adhikari, or in English as we speak as the eligibility. Give you an example. Suppose if I am a student of science, I am a graduate. In India, a degree is called graduation. So, if I am a graduate of science and suddenly one day I want to go to the class of commerce, I will individually understand the words that the teacher is speaking, but cumulatively the meaning will not come to me because I don't have the base background of commerce, and vice versa, of course. And the same happens in the scriptural field. That if we do not have the basic idea of what scripture is about, the eligibility becomes a problem. This is first. We are not putting the question whether you are eligible or not. We are just giving you the information. For knowledge transfer, what all are required. The first is eligibility, what we call it as the adhikaritva, adhikari. The second is the topic by itself. For example, I enter into an auditorium thinking, yes, I want to go and listen to this topic. And I go there and I realize, oh, they're talking about classical music. But I wanted to go for a science lecture. Then I will never be able to understand what's happening. So we must know that the sessions that we are listening to or attending, what is the topic of that? Of course, we've been speaking of the topic Vedānta Jñana Yajña. That Vedanta, that knowledge, which will make our life an art of living. Knowledge by itself, what knowledge really means. Not knowledge of something, but knowledge per se, the knowledge of your own true self. And finally, Yajna, the cooperative endeavor. That is the topic. The third aspect, Prayojana, or the content matter. We have to understand before we go that what is going to be the content matter of the topic that we are going to understand. And the content matter of our topic is 1. I'll put it as if I am myself. Who am I? In your case, who you are. The question, who am I? Second, what is this world, the universe around me? What is it? And the third, the most important thing, that who am I? My correlation with myself, the world, and the principle, what we call as God, the God principle, or we could say the energy factor, or as it is said in Vedanta, the substratum upon which everything is based. What is the correlationship of me, the world, and that God principle? Finally, the fourth aspect, the sambandha, the relationship between the prayojana, the content matter, and the vishaya. To give you an example, I may call you to listen to a classical Western music and I start playing jazz. Now those who are aware of classical Western music, they will say, no, this is music, but it is not classical Western music. This is jazz. Jazz is music, it's beautiful music, but it is not classical Western music. Another example, for example, I go and I am wanting to attend a lecture where Indian classical singing is going to be taking place. And suddenly I find there the host is started singing Hindi Bollywood songs. Bollywood songs are good, but they are not Indian classical music. Therefore, the correlationship between the subject matter and the topic has to be clearly spoken by the speaker, if it is a speaking way like we are, or in a book when you're reading, or for that matter in a lecture or an open discussion. Only when these four factors come together that knowledge transfer takes place. So kindly, before we wind up today, let me once again get your attention to these four aspects of knowledge transfer. First aspect is called the adhikaritva or eligibility. Second is the topic by itself, the vishaya. Third, that prayojana or the content matter. And finally, the fourth, the sambandha, the correlation between these two. Isn't it interesting? Thousands of years ago, our rishis had thought of this structured manner already. That if knowledge has to take place, it has to be taking place in a very, very structured manner. Unbelievable. So today we end our session here. Till the next time, kindly go through these these thoughts. Let your mind go through these thoughts and you will enjoy it as much as I do. In the meantime, let us end this beautiful session with a Shanti part. Thanking all those who have come here today. Thank you very much for being with me. I thank Bhagwan, I thank my Guru and my parents. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.